comes to point is the real estate market starting to slow down? Is it transitioning from a seller's market, well, into a buyer's market? Well, we're going to go over that today, and we're going to go over where we're trending, and then we're going to conclude with, well, just a couple of you should do this today kind of thing. It is Saturday, and it's a great time to do some home and maintenance items. So with that, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you share this link with anybody that you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. It's free. There's no cost to this, no strings attached. It's in real time, real metrics, so that you can make the best business decision when the time is right. So, and, well, I have fun doing this, and hopefully you enjoy the videos. So let's get on to this a little bit more. And we've been getting a lot of questions, and they're saying, George, is the market shifting? Okay, well, no. Not really. It is November, and it is normal for us to start seeing buyers and sellers start to pull back. It is totally expected and normal. Our numbers are still outperforming over last year. We are still well ahead. In fact, we are still, we have not only caught 2019 sales about October 27th, but we have passed them, and we continue to increase that gap. But let's go over it in a little bit more detail. So month over month, we've got actual homes for sale month over month. So in other words, we look at inventory available in October versus what is available today, right? October 1 up to the, what is today, the 14th, and then November 1 through the 14th. So number of homes, total number of homes available to buyers in the market, those are down 9.1%. All right. New homes on market, meaning that sellers that raise their hand and say, I'm going on market, those are down 25%. Okay, pretty normal. When we take a look at pended, we're looking at pended sales are down 9.1% and solds are down just shy of 8%. Now you might be saying, oh my gosh, George, that's horrible. No. You got to remember, October is a better market. We're coming out of a summer market, which is September. Just remember, everything's lagging, okay? So really what we're seeing, as far as sales, or what happened technically in October. So it's normal as we transition through this. But to give you a better picture, let's look at year over year. So our inventory is down 39.9%. Let's just call it 40%. Normally, since about August, well, even before that, we've been averaging between 42 and 48% less inventory year over year, okay? 2020 versus 2019. Our inventory has been, well, let's just call it just shy of half, okay? Year over year on, as far as new homes coming on market are down 3.4%. Okay, not a big deal, pretty small. Pended. Pended's up 5% year over year. That's a big number. That's a big number. But look at this. So remember last week we were at 0.9, 1%. We're now at 1.6. So we have sold 1.6% more homes than we did last year at this time. Still, that's amazing. And even though we're looking at potentially maybe another 2-week shutdown, everybody's being safe. And I hope that they don't do it, but let's keep things going. Everybody just, continue to be safe. And let's keep our economy, let's keep everything going. So there's my little public service message. How's that? All right. So year over year, our sales are still up. We have surpassed 2019. And 2019, as you know, we didn't have COVID. We didn't stay home. All right. So when we take a look at the last 7 days, and this is kind of a running metric that really kind of helps people to get maybe a little bit more perspective. So in the last 7 days, we had 1,062 homes come on market. Pended, still 1,786. We normally run about 2,100, 2,400 homes going pended every single week because this is a running 7-day, right? So when we take a look at this number, sure, we're seeing some of our pendant sales start to back off a little bit. Again, we are still up over last year. Not uncommon that we're down a little bit month over month. Sold still 1,413. Yeah, it's down just a tad bit. Nothing monumental. Absolutely expected. And so some folks are saying, oh my gosh, I should not buy a house now. And I'm like, wait a second. Actually, as a buyer, now's when you should be out there. Because if you have, as we have here, trending, we have fewer showings that are happening, sales are starting to slow, and we have fewer new on market. But that means your competition is starting to pull back. They're starting to do some other things. Well, if somebody's starting to do something else, that is an absolute great opportunity for you to come in and have less competition. Plus, for a seller, that's even greater advantage for them because they actually have a higher quality buyer that is coming through. They have less showings, which is less interruption and safer for your family. However, you know that those people coming through are dead nut serious, which is great. So really, is it a time to pull back? The answer is no. You should be marching forward as planned. Interest rates have actually then come down again from last week. So last week they were at 2.8 and change. Right now we're at 2.75 for owner-occupied, and then for non-owner-occupied we're at 3%. So from last week somebody said, George, okay, you said there was this add-on, and you said new money got better rates and refinances didn't get as good of a rate. So Dan and Juliana, they gave me these numbers, so thank you guys. And refinance rates today, roughly about 3.375. Well, you can see that's a little bit of a difference. New money always gets that incentive, right, versus a refinance. And if you do a cash out refinance, this will probably bump up a little bit more. Probably, I'm just guessing, don't quote me on this, probably about 3.5, 3.55, something like that. Because again, it is based on risk. Your credit score, again, is directly proportional to your interest rates. If you have an investment property, 4 units or less, single family, duplex, triplex, or fourplex, your refi rate today is 3.375. That is still amazing. So if you take this into consideration, if you have an investment property that is, say, 5.5%, makes perfect sense to refinance your multifamily. Whether you reduce the term, whether you just keep the same term for cash flow, depends on what your goal is, what you're trying to do, what you want to accomplish, so on and so on. All right. So all things considered, is the market continuing to be in a positive growth pattern? The answer is yes. The question, is it still a seller's market? Yes, it is. Inventory is still below 1 month. Even though that we're seeing some of what's coming on market or what is available is down, hey, that's okay. Just understand it is totally normal this time of year. And it will continue this trend all the way until about end of February, where all of a sudden our spring market hits and then boop, and then a bunch of people come back on. Hence, that's why the spring market is without a doubt, our strongest market. Now, if you have any questions, post them. We'll answer them. We typically respond back. I normally say 30 minutes, but we're down to 22 minutes response time. Anyway, so let me know, but we'll get your questions answered. We had some really great questions. In fact, we had a couple of them this morning, and they were saying, hey, what do you recommend this year, for maintenance? Our newsletter went out, covered some of these bases, but here are some of the top ones. First, if you haven't done it yet, you should do it at around daylight savings time. Hopefully this is the last time we roll back and roll forward again. But change your batteries. Now, that means change your batteries not only in your smoke detector, but change it in your carbon monoxide detector. Okay? Change them both. Why? It's safer. And the best part is, at between 1 and 3:30 in the morning, you don't get that crazy infamous beep and then try to figure out what smoke detector is beeping because, well, they're hard to find sometimes. Anyway, make sure you swap out your battery. Next thing, if you haven't done it, have your furnace serviced, okay? Really, every year is fine. Every other year is fine. Swapping out your filters. Hey, listen, this time of year is the highest demand for your furnace. Make sure that it can breathe. Don't make it breathe like it's sucking through a straw, where we've gone in and we've seen some filters and they've got like a filter this thick, and then it's like that thick because there's so much dust and everything else that's on it. It just can't breathe. You swap out your filter. Jim Triple, who promises he's going to do a video with us, he says, listen, you swap out your filter every single month or at least every other month, you will extend the life of your furnace almost tenfold. Well, that's a big deal, right? Because furnaces are not inexpensive, and the safety element, and of course they always crash and burn this time of year, well, because of the demand, because it's colder and they have to heat and everything else. So make sure you get that service. BentleyContractors.com. There's no strings attached. There's no login. Go there. You can find some really great vendors that we have vetted and approved. Let them know that we sent you. Marie's going to be putting on a 10% discount code. Let us know because you can click that, get the discount. And these guys are all aware of it. And that's the only reason they're on the list, because they're fabulous and they give you guys better service. All right. Gutters. Absolutely make sure you get your gutters cleaned. We were talking to a client the other day, and they're like, hey, you know, I'm seeing some water in my house. And I said, and you know, we just took a drive-by for them. They had leaves stacked in the gutters and going all the way up the valley. Well, what happens is that it just gathers water, goes up underneath. Hey, listen, if you don't want your gutters to fall off, if you don't want water backing up or wicking back up into underneath the sheathing and causing rot and mold and damage, look, have your gutters cleaned. Again, there's a couple of contractors. Chris is our most recent favorite addition. He does a great job. Get them cleaned out, and if you end up getting a heavy freeze, not that I'm expecting that anytime soon, they don't fall off your house. We have had people cry because their gutters fell off their house. I'm like, well, they're full. And they're full of water now. So clean them out. Last, if you have a wood burning fireplace, okay, or a pellet stove or something like this, and it goes up through a chimney. Now, we're not talking about a gas insert. The gas insert's got a B-vent pipe that goes up. That's not important. So if you actually burn pretzel logs, or if you burn wood, okay, get a chimney sweep in. Make sure that you don't have creosote buildup. I can tell you that if you hear a jet engine sound and you're like, wow, what is that? That is a chimney fire. That means that the creosote in your chimney is burning, and that's why it sounds like that. And your fire will really build up because it's drawing a lot of air. Make sure you get those cleaned out. Look, it's safe, man. It's for your family. So get your battery swapped out, get your gutters cleaned out, get your furnace serviced, and if you have a wood burning fireplace, hey, have a chimney sweep come through. Cheap, cheap insurance. All right, with that, if you guys have any questions, again, post it. Make sure you subscribe. And as Marie says, hit the bell so you get alerted of our videos. If you have any questions, post them. In the meantime, you guys have a great day. Market is doing perfect. No, we are not changing from a seller's market to a buyer's market. We are still a seller's market, but a great opportunity to get out there because rates have also come back down. So with that, I'll see you guys on the next video and have a great day. Take care.